Welcome to the Information Man Show. Peace.
Tell the truth.
Lately it's looking like everything perfect.
How do you know if you're so actually stop smoking?
You can find
Try
me
the
with a
butt
turd
suds test.
Pimp precision like a surgeon. Bad ones used to curb me. Showing up to the show when the curtain split. She know that I'm worth it. I'm finna go up, I'm aerial. I got the hit stash, got a bracelet for impact. Real tricky, quick to flip a pretty penny to a thick stack. Quick stack, think fast and I talk real. I give a fuck about how they feel. Me and Zay just dropped the propane and it sounded like mass appeal. For my dog, I'ma ride to the wheels kill. Got his hand on the hammer, so keep it legit. I've been the man with the blueprint. I won't stop till I own every brick. I used to lay out in the lawn just to feel the world spin on its axis. Now I got the access and the last laugh, got it off with the passion. I keep it 100 on the dash now that we got our subtraction. Slick talker, I'm a showstopper, you are not solid. Tread cautious, couldn't go a mile in my toe boxes. Stun a shade with the Visine, light it up to bring the vibe in. Lime tint, color spot beam on me, I'm a star every night lit, ultraviolet. Hey, I told her make sure that phone is on silent so we know what the vibe is. Take a look in my iris, I think she know that I'm high risk. I never know what the time is, I never know where my mind went. Hey, I got a lot on my plate, I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. Yeah. Look, it's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that, hey, I got a lot on my plate, I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. Yeah. Look, it's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that I used to toss a coin in the waterfalls in the wishing well.
Tell the truth.
Now I get plenty coin, bitch, I'm self-made. You ain't gotta wish me well. You ain't like me then, but I guess it's past tense, cause you tapped in. You was never who you said. I see the facade when looking, it really be that quick to tell. My guard up, I ain't taking nails. If it's not in my favor, won't sign a deal. I got the royalty in the mail, I got authority in the field. Take a look in my iris, I be precise with the timing. I move on the tuck, that shit high risk. I never know where my mind went. Ay, I got a lot on my plate, I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. It's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that, ayy, I got a lot on my plate, I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. Look, it's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that.
Tell the truth.
To the house, don't feel like getting out. I'ma just lay back and crack this window. I've been doing my best, taking a
Information
moment to
is
rest,
power.
feeling stressed out. Give it a cut. I put that on God when it gets hard. I stay on my job like no days off, so you can go home with the negativity, with that broke mentality. Jump on jealousy, my bad. Get away from me, 'cause I've been working all day. Can a
Tell the
nigga
truth.
catch a break? Give a pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter, I'ma make a better way. Hey, hey, already got the world on me. Give a pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter, I'ma make a better way. Hey, hey, better way. Oh, way. Mom and dad's only keep your bitter. I'ma make a better way. 'Cause I've been working all day. Can a nigga catch a break? Give a pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter. I'ma make a better way. Hey, hey. Already got the world on me. Give a pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter.
You don't listen that much, but some of y'all don't listen at all. The same shit they be pushing your buttons. Got a grown man having withdrawals. I don't mind if you don't listen that much. Yo, I just mind what you say for the crowd. But some of y'all don't listen at all. Some of y'all don't answer that call.
Tell the truth.
Realize the movie that I was watching is the end of the world. Illuminati is coming. Gather the boys and girls and watches it all unfurls. They clutching at all their pearls and no one asking for guidance. Stimulus check, won't you cash app that? I got niggas and they said that respect
Tell the
they
truth.
black. Politicians and they said don't know how to act.
What's up, everybody? I appreciate everybody being here.
Back to the long track. And it's okay to be rich. My mama always told me I was destined for greatness. But my mama also, she told me take care of the kids and everybody around the world that can't fight for it.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
I'ma tell the truth. Peace to everybody in the chat, everybody coming over. Yeah. Come on in the chat, everybody. Good to have y'all here. All right, everybody. All right, everybody. Peace to you. Peace to you. I want to first start off by shouting everybody out in the chat room. I'm going to need comments today. I'm going to need chat room participation. I'm going to go over this situation. We have Loretta Lynch, who is the first African-American female AG. I'm going to go over this. I'm going to try to be respectful, but to the truth of this, because as you had a chance to see my thumbnail, I hope you really examine the thumbnail. The NFL, as far as I'm concerned, they are not what we call playing checkers. The NFL is not playing checkers. You see, the NFL is playing chess while the rest of us are playing checkers. This was a gangster move by the NFL to turn around, and when Brian Flores filed his lawsuit, they turn around and they can hire a black attorney, someone who used to be the attorney general right after Eric Holder, placed there by no other than Obama. You see Eric Holder to the left side, Loretta Lynch to the right side, and there's Obama in the middle. And a lot of people got excited about this, said, wow, here we have, right after having a black man that's attorney general, we've got Loretta Lynch. And some of us thought that, well, with having Obama in office, some of us thought this way in the beginning when we were caught up in the keep hope alive stuff. We thought that Eric Holder would be our answer. And remember how they talk about a country that is racist, when Eric Holder made a very honest statement in saying that America is a coward when it comes to the issue of race. And then you had a chance to see how the news and how the society raked him over the coals. They raked him over the coals worse than they did the Joe Rogans of the world. And I also had a chance to see Howard Stern's Remember, he was on Saturday Night Live with Richard Sherman. Oh, you're moving on up. The Jeffersons doing that rendition of Oprah, of Whoopi Goldberg and that stereotyping. I don't like Howard Stern either. So you're going to have people come out and say, well, what about Howard Stern? I don't like Howard Stern either. But when Eric Holder made those statements, he got raked over the coal. He got put under pressure, which I believe contribute to him wanting to step down from the job. And then Obama filled it with Loretta Lynch. And everybody was happy about that. And the sad thing about this is that most of the police shootings that happened to black men, a lot of them happened to black men before Obama, but a lot of them happened under Obama's watch and under both black attorney generals and Loretta Lynch. Loretta Lynch stepped out of office before taking care of very important, vital business. And that is the business of this black man right here, Eric Garner in New York. I can't breathe. I'm going to briefly touch on that in this particular broadcast today. I want to thank everybody in the chat room that's coming in slowly but surely. Another question I have today is Brian Flores the best person to represent this lawsuit? The lawsuit itself is valid. The NFL has been engaging in racist practices for a very long time. But is he the right man for the time? That's the question we got to get into, because remember, I don't know how many of you all forgot or remember this, but Brian Flores wasn't feeling Colin Kaepernick. When Colin Kaepernick took the knee, it was Brian Flores that had a lot of criticism for Colin Kaepernick. Now, I know some of you out there will say, well, this is because Brian Flores is not American born. He is a brother that comes from Honduras. He comes from immigrant family. Remember that black people are all over the world, in the diaspora of the world. And when you come from all over the world, you can't expect people to understand our culture here because they don't come from our culture. But what happens is that when they don't listen to us blowing the horn and the trumpet, like Colin Kaepernick was speaking about, Brian Flores can't understand that because he does not come from our lineage here in America. And what happens is that we say it all the time in the black community, that sooner or later you will get your, what do we say, Negro wake-up call. And Brian Flores got that such call. He criticized Colin Kaepernick, because this is where this all started in the first place. But this has been going on in the NFL even before Colin Kaepernick. But he's the one that took it over the top with taking a knee. Now, I don't particularly think that black men should be taking knees. We should be, in my opinion, we should be standing up and fighting up.
Tell the truth.
Everybody got all excited about Eminem, the white boy, at the Super Bowl. Everybody got all excited about him taking a knee, which I thought was laughable at best, because Eminem, don't get caught up in his ability to rap music, do rap music and all of that. Eminem is nothing but a modern day Al Jolson. Go look up who Al Jolson is. He wore blackface, but he did blackface performance mimicking black people. The only difference with Eminem is he's blackface in reverse, meaning he doesn't have to put any of the shoe shine grease on his face. Just throw on a couple of hip hop clothes and mimic what he thinks is being black. I've never liked Eminem. And the reason why everybody got up in arms and said, oh, Eminem is the only, we got black folks out here. Oh, Eminem's the only one that took a knee. Oh, the white boy. The white boy could afford to do what he did. Because, see, I've said it again in the other video that I did about Kim Potter. Eminem, ladies and gentlemen, has the protection. He has the complexion for the protection. They're not going to ruin Eminem's career going forward. All you got to do is go back to Janet Jackson when she had Justin Timberlake, and they didn't, and the whole world went crazy over a little nipple when he did a mistake They pulled, there was a mistake. There was a wardrobe mistake. I don't know. And he pulled the pasty off. The whole world went crazy. And guess what happened? Janet Jackson's career at that time took a hit while Justin Timberlake's career flourished. So Eminem taking a knee, whether the NFL approved it or not, because that's been debated, it has no bearing. It will have no effect on him. He has the complexion for the protection. Let's get that straight right now.
Tell the truth.
And black folks, we get too excited when we see white folks copying what we do, whether it be our music, our dance. We get too excited about it because we're too accepting of people who are not accepting of us. The NFL has bamboozled this whole thing. They're playing checkers. They've been playing checkers with us ever since you had Jay-Z laughing with their head white supremacist, and that's Roger Goodell. He's the head grand wizard in charge of the NFL plantation. They remember when Colin Kaepernick did what he did. He said he took a knee in the advisement of a military personnel, a military man who told him, if you want to still show some respect but protest, take a knee, because when soldiers are taken out in war, they present the flag to the family on a knee. The NFL and many of the people that were against Colin Kaepernick taking a knee are all hypocrites. Because if you know anything about proper flag etiquette, go look it up for yourself. You are not supposed to drape the flag across a football field. You're not supposed to put the flag on a hat, on apparel, shirts, T-shirts, none of the less. The NFL does all of that. They put the flag on the uniform. That's not proper flag etiquette. That's actually disrespectful to the flag. If you really want to get technical about this, look it up. Colin Kaepernick, whatever your opinions of him are, is that the NFL has this campaign about racism. And that's what Colin Kaepernick was taking a knee for, although I prefer a black man to stand. Colin Kaepernick protests out of the fact that black men were being killed, against racial animosity towards black men. And the NFL, people call what's that word? They say blackball. It's not blackball. Colin Kaepernick was whiteballed out of the NFL, whether you like it or not, because black people don't own no teams in the NFL. We have no leadership in the NFL. We control nothing. So the NFL is trying to push this campaign about end racism, be against racism. International soccer has been promoting this for a long time. Why the hell is the NFL just getting around to this now? How in the hell can you say that you're against racism, but you have racism in your ranks as a football lead, Roger Goodell, the grand wizard of the NFL? How can they, on the one hand, say that their values is about diversity? I got a juicy video for you. You know I'm going to come with it. The NFL pushes this ideology that they are for diversity. They are for making changes. They've made no changes. They have no one in leadership within the NFL headquarters in New York. They have no leadership in the front office. There's little to no executives. Yes, they've just hired a black man as executive of a football program and we have in Chicago. Yet I don't know if that black executive is even on code, because he didn't hire a black man as head coach. We know that Coach Tomlin has been a shining beacon of what black head coaches can do in the NFL. He's had success. He was originally hired under the Rooney Rule, which has not worked currently. Let me say peace to King Wage, Lady Leg 75, Rob Allbanks, Peggy Roster, Back to the Basics. Keith gave me a super chat. Thank you for that super chat, brother.
Thank you for the super chat.
And who else do we have here? TW's in the house. Earl Owens, who left me a message earlier in the chat room saying that Brian Flores has been hired by the actual team that Coach Thomas is the head coach for. I would think that it was Coach Thomas who put in a good word for this man to get him on board. But let me do something for you. Let me put something in here that is very important when it comes to the Rooney Rule. If I can find that. Here we go right there. Now, remember, Mike Tomlin was hired under this by the Rooney Rule. It was the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has been successful as a coach. He has hardly ever had a losing season. And remember, Danny Green and Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy was let go after he had a successful season, and they brought racist, despicable John Gruden into the fold.
Tell the truth.
And we later found out that John Gruden had emails where he was saying all type of racial things or stereotypical things. And they got rid of John Gruden from the Raiders, but John Gruden came in the following year that they got rid of Tony Dungy, who had a winning season, and then he took over the team and won Tony Dungy's Super Bowl. It was Tony Dungy's Super Bowl. And then Danny Green, remember Danny Green, who coached the Minnesota Vikings for many years, ladies and gentlemen? He was also a assistant coach or a position coach with the 49ers under Bill Walsh in San Francisco, California. And Danny Green was let go after only having one unsuccessful season. You see, white coaches get the benefit of the doubt. They can lose 2 and 3 and 4 seasons and still get a damn job, then get fired, get hired again for another team, or even get hired in college, do bad in college, come back to the NFL, so on and so forth.
Tell the truth.
Since the Rooney Rule was instituted in 2003, only 27 of the 127 head coaches vacancies, which is 21%, have been filled by minorities. I don't like that word. I'm going to say black people in a league where 70% of the players are black. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You've got only, since 2003, only 27 of the 127 head coaches vacancies in the NFL over the years, 21% have been filled by blacks in a league where 70% of the players are black. So what they're telling you, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's okay for us to get on the football field, bust our bones, bust our head, get damaged, get all type of damage to our brains, run the ball, run, Negro. Run, like you're on a plantation, because that's really what football, the NFL is. It's a plantation. You play on a football field. You run on that football field. You pick that cotton symbolically while the master or the heads of that plantation are those owners in the luxury box who watch their Negroes run up and down a football field. That's how it's seen. That's how we're seen. See, the NFL, as I said before, they're playing chess, not checkers. They're playing chess because their chess move is say, we want to make ourselves look like we're not racist, so we're going to play some chess here, not checkers, and we're going to get a black woman to represent us against Brian Flores' lawsuit, so that we can look like we're not racist. See, we're able to hire a black woman. So the chess game is a checkmate. Checkmate on us. Are we going for the okie dokie? Are we going to be taken back by this? The question is why is Loretta Lynch even taking on this case, given the gravity of racism in this society? She's lived long enough to understand racism and what it is. She's had her own stories to tell. Why would she do this? Is it only because she is going to get a big bag of money? Is it because Loretta Lynch truly believes that Brian Flores' lawsuit is not legitimate? Is it because she has to do the bidding of her plantation bosses at that? The firm that she works for? Why is she doing this? Now, you would say, for those out there that are naysayers that will say, well, wait a minute, information man, you don't understand the relationship. Yeah, I do understand the relationship. The reason why the NFL was able to grab her up very quickly is because, from what I understand, the law firm that she works for has had a long outstanding relationship with the NFL. And Loretta Lynch has been involved as one of those attorneys that has been involved with giving counsel to the NFL in many other situations. So I get it. There's a relationship there. But still, this is called chess, not checkers. This is a checkmate to give this impression that there ain't racism. Just like Roger Goodell made the deal with Jay-Z with this buck dance laughing he's doing here. Part of bringing Jay-Z in was to neutralize what Colin Kaepernick was doing, because there was a lot of words about racism flying around the NFL. So he brings in Jay-Z. Oh, let's get Jay-Z. You know, black folks like hip hop. We're hip hop. Why are we allowing these hip hop artists, these entertainers, this Hollyweird to be the spokespersons for black people? They're not the spokespersons for us. Jay-Z doesn't speak for black people. He's not a revolutionary leader. He has been an entertainer. And on top of that, an individual who sold drugs to his own community and his own people before he made it big in entertainment. It was, let me give y'all some history here. It was Big Daddy Kane that discovered his raggedy ass. Lisa Jackson, thank you for the kind super chat. Let me pull that up in the screen here. Keep that in mind, folks. It was, I'm missing super chat, so I'm sorry about this. Lisa Jackson says, our vote should be for sale. She's doing what we should have done a long time ago. Exit unless we get paid for our most high God given talent, which they don't possess. Yeah, I mean, she's getting paid. She's getting a bag for this. I get it. And I'm not sitting up here saying that people should not. What's going on, DOD, Oh Reliable, Peggy, everybody that's in the house? I'm not saying that people should not make their money, but at what cost? At what principle do you not, what cost do you do this? Lisa Jackson, who super chatted me again, says our vote should be for sale. Let me look at the other one that she put up there. Put this up there. She says our vote should be for sale. She's doing what we should have done. Thank you, sister, for that. And I think, let me read Keith Winston. He gave me a $50 super chat. I want to say thank you.
Thank you for the
that super chat. I'm gonna give you both a clap here. We got, let me see. Hit that button. Support Black independent media. Thank you. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
All right. That's Keith Weston in there. Everybody in the chat room, thank you. We got Rob Allbanks. We got the real Aaron Collins. We got Yo, it's your boy coming in the house. Thank you for coming over. We got we got TC in the house. Queen TV. HBC Queen TV. Thank you for coming over. Yes. Yes, Lord. Yes. So what I'm trying to say is, why is it that they always go to the rappers and the entertainers as if they speak for us as a black community? And see, the reason why you got that hip hop concert in LA, one of the reasons why, amongst many other reasons, ladies and gentlemen, I got to be honest, you had Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, who came out there with that Crip outfit he had on. Let's be honest. And you had the black men dressed in the khaki outfit. That ain't nothing. That was nothing. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. As I start to examine it, Tone Talks talked about this as well, y'all. And I had to examine it too. When they were out there dancing at the Super Bowl in those khaki outfits, that was nothing but prison outfits. That's what it was.
Tell the truth.
So you had prison culture and gang culture being manifested to you on stage. Now, don't get me wrong. The music was good. You know, we all grew up with that music, so it resonates with us. But this is part of Jay-Z. This is the leadership of Jay-Z. Jay-Z brings you concerts and music to lure us to sleep. And the NFL does the same. So they give us a black moment on Super Bowl, and then they blacken things up with Loretta Lynch. They always use someone that looks like us to stop us. And like I said again, I've got particular issues with Brian Flores because when it was time for him to stand up for what was right, when it came to Colin Kaepernick, he had criticism. But now all of a sudden he's gotten a taste of his own Negro wake-up call, and now he's filed the lawsuit. And we just found out that he's going to be working as an executive defensive coordinator or some sort with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you know that Coach Tomlin probably has something to do with that because he's an outstanding man. Let me put this up here. Right there. Pittsburgh Steelers hire Brian Flores after coach files racial discrimination suit against the NFL. The former Miami Dolphin coach has been named as senior defensive assistant, and linebacker coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I believe that it was one Mike Tomlin who probably put in the good word for the brother. That's what I believe. I want to thank everybody for being here today. I want to thank BS3 Network. We are live on Roku. I always say it wrong. Roku TV. If you got a Roku package at home, you can watch the show live right now. Around this time of the day on Sundays, I'm live on Roku TV. All the other days, you can catch the shows on demand. So I want to thank Brother Ben and the family over there for letting me come on board on this package on BS3 TV. You have sports, you have relationship talk, you have education, you have cultural talk, you have social issues and politics talk, just like this on that particular network. So I want to give that brother a clap out there and everybody out there in the BS3 family for letting me come on board the BS3 family. Peace to you. That's the logo. And I'm glad to be a part of the family over there. Let me go in the chat room and see what people are saying. I'm not finished with this presentation, folks, by a stretch. We got Information Man Show in chat. What's going on, Yalfi? Thank you. If I'm saying that correct. We've got Glorion Murray. We got the real Aaron Collins. We got DOD. DOD, man, I really enjoyed your stream earlier today. I've got to make contact with that sister that you had, that you were displaying over there on your channel. I think that we need more black women like her saying the things that she's saying when it comes to this whole divestment BS. So I really thank you for that stream, brother. Clap to you. So check out DOD. We got It's your boy Leo. Check him out. We got Greeny Green in the house. Thank you. Halftime show was a complete smack in the face from face with gang culture and white liberal kneeling. Yeah. It did have the gang element to it, but I'm not going to lie. Let's be honest. We all grew up with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and folks like this. So we still got love for these individuals, even if we have criticism for some of the things that they do. But we have love for them. The music resonates with us. Those of us that grew up with the music, I just don't think that it's something that I don't think we want to push that type of ideology. But I wish that more of I shouldn't even say this. Let me just say this. some people would say, hey, I wish more of our entertainers would speak up in our behalf. No, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. They're shutting their mouths. They're not speaking up. They're just entertaining up. That's it. So we should stop saying stuff like, I wish our entertainers would speak up. They're not going to speak up. They are connected to a contract. They need their contracts to make their money. See, me and you who speak up, we're not connected to a contract. We don't have anybody saying you can't say this and you can't say that. We're not beholden to a corporation. We're not beholden to the NFL because we want to be able to sing and dance, and they don't even get any money. Most of them do it for free because it's exposure. Look at a lot of these entertainers don't make as much money as you think they make. You got my sister, her name is fading from me. She was performing at put the name in the chat room, folks. She performed at the Mary J. Blige. Look at Mary J. Blige. They tell you and us that she's worth $20 million. Yet she's performing at the Super Bowl for free and says that she's having a hard time paying her mortgage or rent and paying her alimony payments to her ex-husband. So if so then how could she be struggling like that and performing at the Super Bowl for free because that gives you more exposure if she's really worth $20 million? It's all a facade. These folks ain't worth what you think they're worth. That's what they tell you and me. And then they give them clout to be able to speak for us. When they don't speak for us, they're not even on the same page with us. Mary J. Yeah. So when you look at what's happening with Mary J. Blige, you got to ask yourself, how much a lot of these artists worth? We got Natural in the chat room. Peace to you. Thank you for coming over. We got 72 watching. I really appreciate everybody who's watching. If you have not shared the video, go ahead and share the video and your social media when you have an opportunity. I appreciate that. We got TC in the house. We got the One Man Band. Make sure y'all check out the One Man Band. I like this brother. He's down to earth. He has good panels over there on his channel as well. We got, I think TC, HBC Queen. I believe she has a channel too. You might want to check her out. I watched you on Raw B the other day. That was a very interesting conversation that you were having over there. So I must say, very interesting. And good to see you over here. We got Glorion Murray. And so I'm going to get through this because I know that Brother Honors is going to do a show. And I want to make sure I got on before he goes on so he don't cut into my audience. But I piece to that, brother. Brother Honors. And we got Maurice in the house. We got Brother Shaka. What's going on, Maurice? Brother Shaka saying Snoop and the rest of these folks are gatekeepers. Very interesting point. Very interesting. Let me see what April, and let me see who we have here. We have Miss Jams. What's going on? I love MJB. What's going on? She says she loves MJB. All right. All right. We got April in the house. She says she's doing other things too. She's on the show Power. She's doing other movies and she has a fire album out. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Mary J. Blige is an incredible entertainer. She has great music. She's doing her damn thing. But I'm just saying, it really tells you that even when these entertainers are doing different things, they may not have the money because of their overhead expenses, right? She's probably taking care of family. You know, their overhead expenses could be very high. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And I didn't say it. She said it out of her own mouth. But I want to get back on topic. I'm saying this because Jay-Z, when he came on board with the NFL, what's going on, Peggy Roster, as it relates to Colin Kaepernick was all about, oh, he's gonna lead us to entertainment. Entertainment is not what we needed. Entertainment is not what Colin Kaepernick was talking about, and it still did not address the issues. This is why we are where we are today with the NFL. And if you have not, folks, check out Info Media. That's my new channel. I will be only doing content over there, content related to YouTube tips and strategies, how to build up your channel, some of the things you need to be aware of about YouTube, the studio, everything. So check out Info Media. We'll be launching content over there soon. Shameless plug right there. So let's go back into this. Let's go back into this right now. So like I said, Coach Tomlin is now been involved in the hiring of Brian Flores. Okay. Now, when it comes to Loretta Lynch, let's go into some details here. Let's go to the lesson plan right now. And here we go. It will not take very long, but it's important to get into it. Here we go. Loretta Lynch, Attorney General Loretta Lynch, stepped down without the Justice Department having. Now, this is what's bad about this. Loretta Lynch was appointed by Obama. During her tenure, there was a man by the name of Eric Garner. Remember this? I Can't Breathe. He was choked out. He was harmed by the New York City police. And Loretta Lynch, this is what bothers me about this, because Loretta Lynch is getting involved in the lawsuit allegations of Brian Flores, but she didn't have the time to take care of the most important business, which was the killing of Eric Garner. Eric Garner was choked out by New York City police under her watch. This is the streets that it happened on right here in New York. And of course, this happened right around the time that we had the Michael Brown situation. Eric Garner was killed by this piece of garbage police right here. This was the man who took Eric Garner's life. Keep this in mind. This was under Loretta Lynch's watch as Attorney General. She was asked to deal with this, but she stepped down out of office and left this situation in limbo and didn't do a damn thing about it. I'm over here to tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
She left the whole situation in limbo. This bastard right here took this man's life. Let me put her back on here again. And I'm going to emphasize this again. Read this with me. The Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, stepped down without the Justice Department having charged or cleared police officers in the death of Eric Garner, whose videotape takedown by New York City officers. Let's go into the next one. Loretta Lynch authorized the department to move forward with the case, but made that decision. So this is what she did. While she's about to get involved with this case, against Brian Flores, while she's about to get involved against Brian Flores and his case that he's bringing to the NFL, under her watch, when it came to Eric Garner, she was derelict in her duty. Loretta Lynch authorized the department to move forward with the case, but made that decision so late in her tenure that the lawyers and the investigators could not take all the necessary steps to proceed an indictment. Do you understand what I'm saying? They always tell us, oh, if you get a black person in a particular position, it's going to be good for black folks. Why is it that Loretta Lynch had unfinished business? She's getting involved in this suit by Brian Flores to help the NFL out against the racism of the NFL. How can she take on this case knowing the racism, the prejudice in the NFL when it comes to hiring black men as coaches, looking for black people who have the capital to become owners, black men that work in the executive positions in the NFL, as well as their front office in New York, where they have little to no black men working in executive positions. And so she wants to represent the NFL against Brian Flores' legitimate lawsuit. Although he may not be the best person to represent it, his claim is legitimate because that's been going on in the NFL for a long time. So she, in her derelictness, left that office, left, in my opinion, Eric Garner and his family hanging because she didn't do her due diligence to make sure they had all their evidence and everything lined up before she walked out the back door. If we're going to tell it, we got to tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Let me see what my man is saying. I think brother let me see what brother I got a $50 super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
From Boo saying this play is how they keep us divided while keeping us down. All skin folks aren't your kin folks. I have experienced this personally with a former employer. Black people could rise up if we stop pushing each other down like crabs in a bucket. I appreciate your statements. Thank you. Thank you for those statements. I appreciate that. And we got Back to the Basics in the house. We got Sister Erica in the house. King Wage. Let me see. We got Michael Ross in the house. Gregory X is in the house. And let me put this on the right there. That's what the sister's saying. This is a powerful statement. This play is how they keep us divided while keeping us down. All skin folks ain't your kin folks. I have to experience this personally. I've experienced this personally with a former employer. Black people could rise up if we stop pushing each other down like crabs in a bucket. We could also stop giving birth to children and letting the NFL have our children. That's another thing that we could do. Stop giving birth to children only for the NFL to benefit from them economically. Gloria Murray gave me a super sticker. Thank you.
Thank you for the super chat.
I appreciate that, sister. I appreciate all the super chats.
Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you again for that. Really appreciate the $50 super chat and the $20 from Sister Gloria Murray. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me give you both a clap. I can't thank you anymore. So this is where Loretta Lynch dropped the ball on this. Next one. This is what now, if Loretta Lynch would have been on her P's and Q's when it came to the Eric Garner case, this is what it would have involved. It would have entailed assembling evidence in the case, in presenting it to a grand jury in a bid to perlude the panel to return a criminal. So basically, they wanted to pursue the opportunity to convene a panel to return to return criminal charges. Loretta Lynch did not do that. Now, for those of you out there who are Donald Trump fans, you holler Donald Trump. Donald Trump, when he came into office, he relaxed all the laws when it came to what cops were doing to black people. So for black folks out there to get caught up in this, well, Donald Trump, he gave money to the black colleges. No, he didn't. Most of the black college presidents right now are angry at Donald Trump because he didn't give them he reneged. He didn't give them anything. He used them as a photo op. Then you got black folks that will say, well, he released some black folks from prison. That's great. Give him that. We give him a clap for that. But at the same time, he also relaxed the laws that allowed cops to get away with what they were doing to black folks. Because when Trump came into office, he nominated to the attorney general spot was this guy named Sessions. Remember, Sessions was pushing that narrative about the, black extremists, right? They were pushing that against us. With a loose definition of it, Sessions has said publicly, check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Sessions had said publicly that he waves on the police being judged. He's not sure about the police being judged unfairly. He wavered on that. And he viewed it as less likely to seek charges against officers. So the bottom line is this. Jeff Sessions got put into the attorney general position by Donald Trump. When he got in office, he did little to nothing to deal with the things that were happening to black folks. He didn't even want to acknowledge it. He didn't even acknowledge that cops were out of line in this country. He did nothing. Instead, he was focusing on black extremists, which is BS. It does not exist. You got a lot of white extremist groups. You ain't got black extremist groups. The FBI has even come out and said that the most dangerous thing right now in America are these white nationalist groups. So Loretta Lynch, she dropped the ball in dealing with getting justice for the Eric Garner family in her lack of due diligence. Then Trump came aboard and put Jeff Sessions in office, and not a damn thing happened after that. Now, the next lesson plan. Eric Garner died on July 17, 2014, after he was taken to the ground by New York City police officer, with one officer applying. Let me just put this guy's picture up here again. This is the sucker who did it. This is the sucker that did it. This is the sucker that did it right here. Eric Garner died on July 17, 2014, after he was taken down to the ground by New York City police officer. That's the guy who choked him, with one officer applying what appeared to be the chokehold. The encounter, which was caught on video. That chokehold, ladies and gentlemen, was found to be an illegal chokehold in New York. You all know that. However, they still did not press charges against these police. The DOJ still didn't do their job when Loretta Lynch was still in charge of the DOJ. She did not set things in motion so that they could prosecute the police and hold them accountable and do investigations on that New York Police Department. She stepped out the door while Eric Garner's family did not get any justice at that time. If we're going to tell the truth, we got to tell it all.
Tell the truth.
Now, luckily for the family, they kept pursuing this. There was a lot of public pressure. And pressure can bust pipes. So eventually the New York City reached a settlement. So they did not charge that off. The officer did not get charged. They did not hold the police department accountable. So what they did is they settled. They did a settlement with the Garner family. This was last year. They gave a settlement with the family last year of about $5.9 million when this whole thing took place. Eventually the family got $5.9 million. I think I have some more super chats in here. Let me do my best to acknowledge the super chats and people who have super chatted me. I appreciate that. Gloria Murray giving me another super chat. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you for the super
I think I'm going to have to do super chat music for everybody that super chatted me. We got Keith Western, $10 super chat. Always well, my good brother, information man. We got to keep strong black media going strong. It's just that important. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you.
Tell the truth.
I appreciate that. Let me go ahead. And so the family was rewarded $5.9 million, which I'm sorry, they deserve every penny of it, every red nickel of it. Okay. Let me go ahead and do this because I'm going to go into the next part of it. I'm going to finish this, but let me go into the super chat music and celebration because I really appreciate what people are doing here. Here we go.
Tell them run it up. I wake up.
Thank you for the super chat.
I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no
Tell the truth.
Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might
Tell the truth.
But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself, they getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name.
Thank you for the super
I
chat.
wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down now.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for the super chats. I really appreciate the support. It goes back into the show. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing over here. I'm enjoying the fact that we got a nice audience over here. And might give y'all a bonus show tomorrow. I might go live early like I did last Monday, depending on the topic that I want to get into. I really appreciate that. I got Back to the Basics has also given me a super chat. She says, information man, she's about the bag, another sellout, Karen in blackface. And well, let me just say this. And what's going on, Natural? Good to see you here. Earl Owens. Loretta Lynch has an experience with racism. She has come up the hard side of the mountain. I'm going to say that. But I do think that she dropped the ball when it came to Eric Garner and what happened to him. I have no idea why she left that situation in limbo when people were asking her. Hell, even Al Sharpton wasn't. I'm not a big fan of Al Sharpton, but even Al Sharpton was talking about this too on his show. And I just don't understand why she left that situation in limbo. I don't know why she didn't pursue it all the way before she stepped down. I don't know what was going on in her personal life. You know, you just never know. But I just don't. I think it's weird. And right now she's about to go strong for the NFL in this case against Brian Flores, in trying to show that his racism case, his discrimination case, racial discrimination case has no merit. But yet, while she pursues working for the NFL to get that big bag, why didn't she pursue before she stepped down the situation as it relates to my man, Eric Garner? I want to know, why did that not take place? That should have never happened. In reality, should have never happened. Let's go back over here and examine some more lesson plan, shall we? So as I said before, the family eventually got some money. Loretta Lynch departure remains unclear. So either there was some personal issues going on in her family. Who knows? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. But even in the articles that I've had a chance to look over, it was seen as unclear why she stepped down. It was seen as unclear, and I have no idea why this is. The matter was initially left to the state authorities, with the Justice Department watching behind them late in 2014. A Staten Island grand jury declined to bring charges against the officers. Once again, this sucker right here, this sucker right here,
Tell the truth.
The Staten Island didn't bring charges against him. New York Police Commissioner didn't bring charges against them. The mayor didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. And even the AG, Loretta Lynch, she was derelict in making sure she took care of this before she did anything. We got Joanne Foot is in the house giving me the $2 super chat. This is my sister from France. She has a soccer channel. She follows the PSG soccer team. Fantastic. Thank you for that super chat, my sister.
Thank you for the super chat.
I'm glad you came over into the chat room to join us. Really appreciate that. Let me, did I get a chance to put that up there and show, I'm having some problems here. Let me see. Where is that at? There we go. There we go. Put that up there. So thank you. Get that Russian bot out of here. I see a Russian bot. Get those things out of here because they put viruses. Let me block it from inside of here. Yeah, anytime you see any of these Russian bots that come into the chat room, you got to get rid of them because I think those things put viruses into your channel. That's why I don't want them anywhere near this channel. When you see them, get them out of here. All that weird writing that doesn't make any sense, get it out of here when you see it. Thank you, whoever got it out of here, because they might be putting viruses in the stream. Oh, I think I want to say, Monica, if you did super chat me, sister, thank you too for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
I think you might have super chatted me as well. And I think Back to the Basics gave me 2 super chats, which I really appreciate that as well.
Thank you for the super chat.
But this sister right here, she's from France. She can speak English and she speaks French. She has a really good soccer channel, PSG, which is one of the top soccer teams in the world. She does a little stream over there. She speaks French and she also is a travel agent, I believe. If you want to travel internationally, she would be a good person to connect with. I think she has all that information on her channel, if I'm not mistaken. So check her out. She gives me nothing but love when I go over to her channel from time to time and I listen to what's going on. Even if I can't understand what's being said, I just give her some watch time and what have you. So thank you for coming on over. All right. Let's get back to the presentation at hand. And let me read with what Back to the Basics has said. She says, information man, she may have started off in the right track, yet she is complacent now. Right. I think, I don't know. But as you can see right here, there was no charges originally brought against these officers, that officer in particular. Loretta Lynch, listen to this. Now, after all that, now this is what Loretta Lynch did that we need to be reminded about. Loretta Lynch traveled to Baltimore to announce a court enforceable agreement that mandated brought charges at the police department in the city where in 2015, the death of another black man, Freddie Gray. So what I'm saying is she has implemented some policies. Yes, she has. But she dropped the ball on the Eric Garner situation. So I got to be fair here. Another one right here. Loretta Lynch, also, she traveled to Chicago, Illinois, making it public, a public scaling report about the police department patterns or practices using excessive force in Chicago. So she spoke out about some things, okay? I just want to be balanced here. She did speak out about what was happening in Chicago. She did speak out about what was happening in Baltimore and tried to set forth some policies. Now, did she stop what was happening? No, because this stuff still has happened. Did Eric Garner stop? Did Eric Holder stop this? No. Has any attorney general that we've had in this country stopped these things that have happened to us? No, and hell no.
Tell the truth.
No. You can't even get the George Floyd crime bill passed, which would also create a database, as I said before, would also hold police accountable for you to sue them civilly because they would not have qualified immunity to protect them. So there's a lot that could happen that has not happened. I'm laying that out to say, okay, if Loretta Lynch could recognize that there's racism, if she can recognize that there's some things going on in Chicago Police Department, that there's some wrongful things going on in the Baltimore Police Department, but yet she dropped the ball on the Eric Garner situation when she was asked to deal with it. Now, all of a sudden, how can she feel so comfortable? At least it appears to me, since for her to take on the case for the NFL says that maybe she agrees with the NFL. Now, I know how this works. When you are an attorney, you simply do the job, whether you like your clients or not, because you're a lawyer. You got to do your job. But, and remember this, I said this before, there is a relationship. There is a relationship. There is a relationship that she has with the NFL that goes back to 2007. Some people may not be aware of that. Let me put some lip balm on here. So there's a relationship already. So the question I asked for all of you in the chat room, why is she taking on the case? Is it simply because she's a lawyer? This is the law firm she works at? Or is she taking it on because she truly believes that the NFL is in the right and Brian Flores is in the wrong? I want to show you something, ladies and gentlemen. Remember I said that the NFL has been promoting this whole thing about ending racism? That's the way to go. End racism. The NFL is pushing this narrative that they are against racism. Yet the head of the NFL, as I said before, the grand wizard himself, Roger Goodell, when he is asked questions, he can't even answer the questions. I'm going to show you a video where you have a reporter doing the NFL media day, where you had a brother who worked, I think, in one of their offices, who asked Roger Goodell some legitimate questions. And you could tell that Roger Goodell could not really answer these questions to satisfaction. It was this deer in the headlight type of look. It was the same BS that we always get. But I'm going to remind you again, the NFL is playing chess and not checkers. They're playing, this is a chess move with Loretta Lynch. You best to believe that. See, they're more concerned about protecting the shield and making that money. Also, to give you another update, ladies and gentlemen, I believe Jason Black talked about this on his channel just yesterday. The NFL is entering a distribution deal. How can they be involved in a distribution deal when the NFL is supposed to be a nonprofit. They have a nonprofit status, meaning if you didn't know this, look it up for yourself. The NFL has been given a nonprofit status from this government. Even though they move into communities, they make the community pay for the football stadiums. They make you pay for it, tax dollars. They gentrify areas like what's happening in Inglewood, California, with that stadium that the Rams are playing in. Gentrifying the community, rising the rents up, moving people out. The NFL getting a distribution deal when they're supposed to be a nonprofit. They've been given a nonprofit status. You got to ask yourself, how could the NFL in the first place have a nonprofit status when they take in millions and millions of dollars? Well, of course they do. They have those commercials where they have the football players. They do these charitable things so they can write off on taxes. They have NFL Play 50 or whatever. It's all BS because they get a tax write-off. Oh, for those of you who say, well, they promote the military. Do you know that they charge the military millions of dollars to advertise military commercials and to do the color guard and all that kind of stuff on the field? Did you know that the NFL charges the military, although they claim that Colin Kaepernick was not patriotic when he took a knee, but yet they're charging the United States military to be able to promote military commercials and military colors and military promotions at the football games? Did you know that the hypocrisy of the NFL runs that far? Did you know that they have a non-profit status given to them by this government that's in the bid with them? And they make you and I think that they care about men or black men who have these brain damage from playing football. Why do we give birth to children, to black males, and let them play football? We could put the NFL out of business, ladies and gentlemen, if we stop letting our kids play football. They would be out of business. They'd be crushed. They would have no players. Nobody's going to watch football without black players being involved. It'd be boring. So now the NFL is getting involved in a distribution deal. By law, it's supposed to be illegal when you have a nonprofit status. I wonder if anybody's going to talk about that. Check that one out, ladies and gentlemen. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Before I play this video, I want to see what people are saying in the chat room. Let me go. I got one more lesson plan. Since the Rooney Rule was instituted in 2003, only 27. I read that already. Let me go into the next one right here. And the lead, check this out. The NFL, ladies and gentlemen, the NFL lead had 7 black head coaches in 2017, and they only have 1 now. Who is that one black head coach right now? You know who it is. I talked about him. I praised him. That's Mike Tomlins. Okay? He's the only one. He's the only one, ladies and gentlemen. He's the only one. This is a damn shame. And I do mean a damn shame. Let me see what people are saying in the chat room. We got Bonnie Rose in the house, Earl Owens. We got Love to Travel with. Check out her channel. Check out this sister channel as well. How you doing? Thank you for coming over. Oh, we got Major Change Group. Make sure you check out this sister right here, Information Man Show and Chat. Thank you for coming over. Thank you, DOD. Check out this sister's channel. You're going to learn a lot. This sister's educated, attractive, knows her stuff, knows her P's and Q's. Check out her channel. She gets into all kind of financing content about financing, getting your finances together, understanding of credit cards and how to make credit work for you and not against you. Check her out as soon as you possibly can. We got Belly Palmas is in the house. Thank you for coming over. We got Sister Hill is in the house. Hill's in the house. Thank you. Clap to you. And we got a newcomer to the channel. We got It's All Comes Out in the End. Thank you for coming over. It's all comes out in the end. And then we got Just Ask. Oh, Shara, I got a question. You know, sister, when you left that in my chat room the other day, I think it was yesterday or day before, I thought you actually had a question for me. And then I realized, oh, that's part of your new name of your channel. And I appreciate you coming over. And damn, my lips are kind of feeling chapped here a little bit. Excuse me. But thank you for coming over. It's good to see you. I believe she has a channel, so check her out. I got her on the screen right here. Check her out. Appreciate you coming over and joining me. Would like to see you over here a lot more as well, my dear sister. So thank you. A clap to you. And DOD, thank you as well for coming over. And I'm getting near the end of my presentation. I might have a panel discussion. We got a variant perspective in the house. Thank you for coming over, my brother. We got created. What's going on? Triple C. What's going on, sister? I got to give you another clap again. I'm glad to see you over here, by the way. Glad to see you over here. Thank you for coming over. Thank you for coming over very much. So Tiffany Jackson is in the house, right? My good sister here. All right. Miss Jammin. All right, there you go. And we've got variant perspective. Peace. I'm trying to go live now, brother, before my man Honors goes live. I know he's going to be going live pretty soon, so I'm trying to do a little something over here. I appreciate all of you coming over, but this is going to knock your socks off, this video that I want to show you. And then I got my man right here. Let me put him on the screen. He's been following me since day one, since I had crickets in the chat room. All right. When I had nobody following me hardly. And that's brother Yapo. I have a lot of respect for this brother right here you see on the screen. I love this brother here. I got nothing but peace for this brother. He's been very supportive of my channel over the years. And I just want to give you a big clap, brother. Thank you for the super chat. He says, much love and respect info. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I'm doing the best I can over here, brother. Somebody's got to do it. You got to have some balance on these YouTube streets. And I'm doing the best I can to talk about these kind of issues and really appreciate you showing me some love, as well as Earl Owens and Rob Allbanks and Gloria Murray and DOD and just everybody in the chat room. Real Aaron Collins, Cole. We got Cole one is in the house. No black owners too. Right. No black owners. But wait till I show you this video. Let me get to it. Let me just stop messing around here and let y'all see this video. Let me just get to it. All right. I appreciate all of you here, but this one is going to knock your socks off. I want y'all to listen very careful. Some of you might have seen this already. You might have missed it. But this was at the NFL media day before the Super Bowl, the week of going into the Super Bowl. And this brother got up, asked Roger Goodell legitimate questions that the grand wizard of the NFL, which is Roger Goodell, was not willing to answer properly. You could tell he was stuttering because he didn't have an answer to this man's questions. And I want y'all to take this in seriously. With that said, here comes the, let me take this off of here. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. Here comes the breaking news.
Jim Trotter. The question is more for the owners, but also for you. And since they're not here, I'll ask you, as I always say. In your initial statement, the league's initial statement, it said that diversity, equity, and inclusion were core principles of the NFL. And I need to provide some context before I can ask you about that statement. In the 100-plus year history of this league, 24 of the 32 franchises have either had one black head coach or no black head coaches. And to make sure I get the names right, I'll read them off here. We've got the Bills, the Commanders, the Cowboys, the Falcons, the Giants, the Jaguars, the Panthers, the Patriots, the Rams, the Ravens, the Saints, the Seahawks, the Titans, who have never had a black head coach. That's nearly half the league. We look at the fact that there's never been a majority black owner. There's only been one black club president. We look at the GMs, now we're up to 7. 5 of those were hired in the last 12 months. We're now at 3 black head coaches, 2 of whom were hired after Brian Flores filed his lawsuit. So it's easy to focus on the owners here, but I want to put this to you here. When we look at the league office, of the top 11 executives there are only 2 people of color. When we look at NFL Media Group, where I work, there is not one black person at the senior level in the newsroom who makes decisions about a league whose player population is 70% black. So as a member of the media group and as a black man, I ask, why does the NFL and its owners have such a difficult time at the highest levels hiring black people into decision-making positions?
Yeah, Jim, listen, we look at the same numbers, and they're really part of the effort that, again, looking at how do we become more effective in our policies and procedures. We work really hard. We believe in diversity. We believe in it as a value. We believe it's made it stronger. People who've come into the league who are diverse have been very successful.
Tell the truth.
He can't say anything.
Told you so extra, but I know I'm the same. Love me in spite of my trauma. Give me what I need instead of the drama. When it pop off, it's like, oh my, all good all day, but the night we be going so hard on the flip side. So tell me we'll be on a day, babe. I could get that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. But you'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So right there, you had Roger Goodell. You can see it for yourself. He really didn't have much to say. And that brother said himself that at the front office level of the NFL in New York, in their office, you only have 2 black people there in some capacity of leadership. Where he works at himself, there's only 2. So there's very little diversity. As Roger Goodell, I call him the grand wizard of the NFL and their racism. And this is why I don't understand why Loretta Lynch would get involved in this nonsense. I don't understand why I don't understand why she didn't decline to get involved in this. Or is it because she's serving, she's trying to serve 2 gods? She's serving this, let's be honest, a law firm that's pretty much run by white men, white people who are cutting her paycheck. Let's just be honest about that. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
And so she's just doing what she has to do to maintain the status as an attorney in this firm that Roger Goodell and the NFL hired to negate Brian Flores' lawsuit. But yet we forget about Colin Kaepernick, who, by the way, when the NFL put up their slogan about being against racism, one of the first things that the NFL failed to do and should have done is they should have reinstated Colin Kaepernick's ability to get back in the lead. They basically whiteballed him out of the lead, as I had said before. See, what they do, ladies and gentlemen, is they use symbolism. They know that black people like symbolism. We like things that make us feel good. So they put little slogans on the side of the field like "in racism." They give us a Super Bowl halftime show with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and all that kind of stuff, and have black men dancing in prison outfits and things of that nature. They know that we will respond to symbolism. So that's why the NFL can checkmate our asses. Checkmate. Boom. You see? See, we got to stop playing checkers, as I said before, and we got to start having a chess game, because Roger Goodell and the NFL are using their money, their forces to negate the racism. They're in denial of it. They know it exists, but they don't want to have it mess with the status quo. It's about money. How can you have a football league where you have the majority players be 70% black? You have no black owners. You have hardly to no black head coaches in the league right now besides Mike Tomlin, as I said before. How can that be? This is crazy. And history has shown us, let me say this, to the ladies in the chat room, I want y'all to understand what I'm about to say here. Don't take it personal, because it has to be said. Historically, they have used black people against each other as a checkmate, right? So black women have been used against black men against us. And also black men have been used to undermine black women, and black women have been used to undermine black men. In my opinion, Loretta Lynch getting herself involved in this case is undermining another black man. Even if he comes from another part of the world, he's still a black man. She's undermining not only, it's not even about Brian Flores, because this has been going on before Brian Flores, but she's undermining, in my opinion, the plight of black head coaches. She's undermining the opportunity of black men in the lead who have played by the rules. They first, this is the first thing that the NFL does. They say, first, to be a head coach, you got to work yourself up to being an offensive or defensive coordinator. Black men in the NFL have done that and have still had jobs that they should have gotten that they don't get. The white boys can take a job, get fired 3 and 4 times, and get a new job. I believe that one of the coaching jobs in the NFL is being filled by a man. There's a guy in the NFL. What was it? What was the guy's name? He didn't even have college coaching experience. He didn't even have NFL coaching experience. He had nothing but high school coaching experience, and he got a position job with high school coaching experience. What is that about? What is that guy? If somebody in the chat room knows the coach that I'm talking about, because this was reported, put it in the chat room. What is going on here? Historically, when you want to undermine black society, you undermine black society by going through the woman. You go through the woman to impact black society, but not only the black woman, you also impact the black man to also impact black society. In this case, to impact black family. So Loretta Lynch, in my opinion, by taking on this position with her firm to go against Brian Flores, it ain't really about Brian Flores. It's about the fact that she's taking on a case to defend the racism of the NFL when there are other black coaches besides Brian Flores who have a bone to pick with the NFL, although they haven't filed a lawsuit. She is standing in the way of progress. She's standing in the way of the future by getting involved in this case. But this is the game plan. This is the chess piece that they've always used by conquering and dividing our community, by getting us against each other. Pit the black woman against the black man, pick the black man against the black woman, use someone that looks like us to destroy us. That's the checker game. That's not checkers, that's chess. That's what the NFL is doing with this appointment of Loretta Lynch. Should I not say more? Back to the Basics sent me another super chat. She says, tell the truth, information man, divide and conquer, a strategy of war. They need to cut the damn check. I know, sister, don't be a tool of white supremacy. you can say that. Don't be a tool and a fool for this system. I'm disappointed in Loretta Lynch for these reasons. It wasn't my position to just try to trash the sister, because I know, look, if you go and look at her background, she has done some very good things. But on this particular situation, I think she's wrong. And I am very disappointed in the fact that, she, like I said before, that she did not do what was in the right thing to do for the family in the case of Eric Garner. I'm repeating this because this is one of those glaring issues that I don't understand why she was not willing to stay on board to see this situation all the way through. Maybe she had a personal problems in her life. I don't know. I just don't understand why she did not prepare the DOJ to go forward with their case against the police in this community who choked out Eric Garner. That was this individual. Again, I'm going to show him again. Why, even if she had to step down, what they were saying is that because she stepped out of it, she did not leave the DOJ with the preparation they needed to go forward with charges against this sucker from the feds. That's a problem, especially when you're sitting up here in 2022, joining the forces of the NFL to assist one of the grand wizards of the NFL, Roger Ku Klux Klan Goodell. This is a damn shame. So what I will do with the time that I have left is maybe I'll do a Q&R. I'll drop a link in the chat room and see if anybody wants to come up and give their thoughts about this, my presentation, what I have provided for you today. I appreciate everybody again in the chat room. Share the video. I want to thank all my mates, all my family members over there at BS3 Network. Powerful what we're doing over there, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Let me see what I'm at. I'm doing a very good time right now. So I'm gonna drop what's going on. Old Reliable, Golden Goal, and we got Victory Begins. Victory Begins in the Garden is in the house again. Thank you. And we got Old Reliable, who's been rocking with me for a long time as a moderator in the chat room. I'm going to drop a link in the chat room to see if anybody wants to come up for a short moment and give some thoughts about what your thoughts are about this situation. Okay? While I do that, let's put something.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we have someone that's come upstairs. We're going to have a brief conversation before I end this stream today. I appreciate everybody coming over again. And we've got, let's see who we have here. Let me fix this up. I got my man, Variant Perspective, who's come upstairs. Coming over again. And we've got, there's a little bit of feedback. Let me fix this up. I got my man, Variant Perspective, who's come up. All right. I think there's some feedback. If you got that feedback fixed up, okay. How you doing, my brother? And back to the basics. Glad to have you up here. Thank you for coming over.
Hello,
all good,
blessings.
respect King.
Oh, thank you, brother. I'd like to get your thoughts. Whoever would like to begin first. I think back to the basics. Once you go ahead, you got up here. You came up first.
Salute to you, information man, and very perspectives, and all those in the chat and the mods and everyone. This is a damn shame. First of all, what I'm going to say, and just like you said, and some of the sisters might not agree in the chat, or they may agree, but just like you said, this is a division. The NFL knows exactly what they're doing. We've seen on Black YouTube the different movements that have gone on, the divestment movement, and then there's the BDSYM or whatever it is, the Black Man Save Yourself movement. And what I will say is that I'm for strong Black families, but the NFL, they know what's going on, and this is why they did this, because in a broader purpose was to, of course, cause division. And some people, like you said, they just like the car crash. They just like the messery. And
Right.
this is really unfortunate. Now, as far as her, my criticism is I didn't research her past, but the thing is what she's doing now. And just like I said in my comment, consistency is important. She should have did what she needed to do in the Eric Garner case. For whatever reason. So that's why I called her a Karen in blackface. But what I will say is after they get done using her, she'll be discarded. And then I compared her to Candace Owens, because, Candace Owens, she's on that alt-right. But then, it finally came out that she had a discrimination suit with someone.
Right.
I'm thinking, well, wait a second. You said that slavery was just in our mind, that it was pretty much a figure of our imagination. So,
right. Well, I don't know if I would put Loretta Lynch, on the same page as a Candace Owens. She doesn't have a history of getting on social media and saying nonsense about Black folks like that woman does. But when I look at her record, this is one of the boo-boos on her record, which is the Eric Garner. And you're right. They use people that look like us against us. I don't know why she would take on the case. I mean, to me, she's going to be on the wrong side of history. She is on the wrong side of history. And I have to ask this question. How many people in the chat room, because I know people have done streams about this, how many people in the chat room were aware that she dropped the ball on the Eric Garner case that I just brought up? And nothing I'm saying is a lie. You can look all this up for yourself, to fact check what I've been telling you today. How many folks in the chat room? Let's do a vote right now. If you were aware that Loretta Lynch dropped the ball on the Eric Garner case, put a 1 in the chat room. If you weren't, put a 2. I'm just curious to see what the vote is inside the chat room. And I want to hear what Brother Variant Perspective has to say about this. What's going on, brother?
Queen, back to the basics. Blessings and peace be upon you.
blessings to you.
Brother information, man, all is good, all is well. Don't have a heavy piece to say about the AG stepping in, because I have very low expectations for her. She would not ramrod or chair or champion the George Floyd bill. So I have zero respect for anything that she would do. If she didn't push that to be an executive order from the president. That should have been first and foremost. So I'm lost on that fact. So my expectations are low. So it doesn't surprise me the actions that she's taken now.
Earl Owens, you said Lynch is on the right side of history or the wrong side. What do you mean, brother? Because I believe she's on the wrong side. Maybe he's saying something else, because I know Earl Owens is a very learned brother. Oh, he put 1. He was aware of this case. Sister Brown girl said 2. There's quite a few people in here who are putting 2. What's going on? B1 for life. Thank you. There is quite a few people in here, which I'm surprised, are putting 2s. So that tells you that a lot of people were not aware that Loretta Lynch, who was the first black woman AG for a short time, did not do her due diligence in the case of Eric Garner. She left from her position abruptly, and she did not prepare them to be able to go forward. To me, if you got to leave an office or leave a position, why don't you at least make sure that the office is prepared to go forward with the case, even though you're stepping down? She didn't even do that. And for anybody that thinks I'm lying, I did the research before I went live with this today. I dug into her background. That's why I'm saying there's some things that she has done in the past, but this is where she dropped the ball. Now she did admit when she went to Chicago and gave a scaling report about the Chicago excessive force, and she talked about what was happening in Baltimore. But this is the problem. Can you all agree with me? We get nothing but lip service from black folks in leadership, but no action. They can tell us what the problems are, but they do very little action, and they tell you and me to vote for them. We'll even get the Reverend Sharptons of the world that be telling us to vote and to do this and do that. Come on, y'all, don't be critical, right? And then we go ahead and believe in these people when they're put in positions of power and they drop the ball on us. That's a damn shame, right?
Totally agree.
I definitely agree. Now, again, I know you're being an honest broker. She might not be as bad as Candace Owens, but to me, you know, she does have a longer track record than Candace Owens. But to me, inconsistency is bad. For whatever reason that she didn't do a left C, right C, or put someone else in the case before she left the AG seat, that to me is a bad look. Mm-hmm. And it's also a bad look for her taking this case. So that's
what's going on, Babes. It's good to see you here, Sister Babes. I'm glad that you're here, Sister. She has a religious channel. For those of you who are religious people, check her out. Very good channel. Very good sister there. Yeah, I agree with you. Back to the basics. This whole thing is a shame. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not as big of a sports fan as I like sports. I don't watch it as much as I used to. It doesn't rock me as much as it did when I was much younger. But I gotta be honest. What was your thoughts, brother, of Variant Perspective and everybody in the chat room when I played that video and you had a brother that works in the NFL and he told Roger Goodell, there's little to no black men in any leadership or any black people, man or woman, that's working in any real leadership capacity within the NFL. We're not just talking about ownership and coaching. We're talking about they don't even have that many black people working in their office in New York. And you got Roger Goodell talking all this stuff about we're about diversity and no to racism. All that shit on the football field is symbolism, because they know that some black people will buy into symbolism, right? And while some of us were watching the Super Bowl and enjoyed the halftime show, for some of us that enjoyed it, recognize the NFL is trying to rock us to sleep.
Well said. Well said. And just a 10-second thing here that I like to put out.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. You got the floor.
There's something that my twin and I, we speak about this constantly. The word racism is, to me, is dead, because when people think of racism, they always think of overt things: Klan marching on Washington, D.C., burning crosses in the yard. I'm calling you the N-word, tying somebody to a tree and cutting their hands off. Those days are done. There's a new thing out there. It's called placism. It replaced racism. I don't care about what I call you. Just know your place. So
Right.
we'll put you in these positions that are saying that we meet our quota, but you'll never be in a position that's a gatekeeper. You'll never be in a position of authority or decision making. And when that young man brought that out to Roger Goodell, he couldn't speak on it. One thing that I really pray that as the youth in our world are starting to get learned and they're starting to get educated is that we never forget that just because you don't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just because you don't hear the N word does not mean that systemic practicing racism does not exist. And that's something that's I just try to stress it very hard to my children, is that they have to be aware, they have to be cognizant of all those things. Just because there's a face somewhere, it doesn't mean that person, him or her, can make a decision. And we're going to always tout that person to say, hey, look at the 7 African Americans that I have, but not one of them can make a decision. So I'm very proud of that question that he posed to Goodell.
Right. Let me just say thank you for the super chat by Descendant. Thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for the super
and
chat.
I want to say hi to brother. I think this is brother Frazier. He got the GA, I guess, for Georgia. I don't know, but I'm glad to see you over here. He's definitely a mod in the chat room. So let me give him a clap. He's been rocking with me, brother Frazier. I think that's brother Frazier. Been rocking with me for a long time. And I want to thank you. But Sister April made a really good statement in the chat room, too. Tiffany Jackson, she said this: if anyone questions the embedment the racism in the NFL, I hope their eyes are now being opened with these kind of decisions. They know exactly what they are doing. Yeah. And this is the question. I'm going to say this again. This is difficult for me to say because when I was growing up, I loved sports. I loved playing basketball, football as well, but I was more of a basketball player and track. And I think sports do build character in our youth. It can build character. It can build leadership if they're instructed right. But I got to ask this question, brother Variant Perspective, because both of us are men, and as well as you, sister. Back to the basics. Should black people stop giving birth to children and letting them play football?
Well,
I know that's a difficult question.
That's a difficult question, but I'll try to unpack it. I think that we need to be aware of the disparaging 70% of players and no coaches. So I think we need to, if we are going to allow them to play, maybe we put, let's just call a spade a spade. Maybe we put some steel in that backbone to say that, just like Deion Sanders, that if I don't play for a black coach, then I'm not going to your school. You know, Deion Sanders has 4 4-star players going to that school that's not even Division I in the
right.
What's the word I'm looking for? It's not in the Big 5, but he has
right.
4 4-star top-rated ESPN people going to that school because their parents instilled in them that you're going to play for a black coach and you're going to make a black coach some money. So how about we instill that in our children?
Well, Variant Perspective, I've been saying this. I've said this. This is my experiment, because you just said it in a nutshell. If every black man and woman who has a child that is excelling in football, if we decided tomorrow not to let that child sign a letter of intent to a quote unquote white school, and we send them to only black colleges, and we talk about how black colleges don't have enough money and enough facilities, nice facilities and all of that. This is what I'm going to ask you and anybody in the chat room. What do you think would happen if all the best black talent was going to black colleges? What do you think it would do to the Notre Dames and the Michigans and the Florida States and the Floridas? What would happen?
I'd like to see that, to be honest with you. I want to say this. Let's look at it in exactly a year from now. Table that for a year, and let's look at where Deion is coaching next year. Because I would put a couple dollars that somebody's going to just come up with some money to increase those facilities that are at his school now.
Right.
Because Oregon has the best facilities in any Division I school, but they're not the winningest team. It's because someone decided to put that money into the program. So let's see if someone puts that money into the program. Well,
you know, the reason why Oregon has the best facilities, because one of their biggest alumni is Phil Knight. So he purposely gives them all the top gear before anybody else gets it. That's why they always have the best gear. But what I'm saying, though, brother, is if you had every best black player go to an HBCU, eventually the HBCUs would get the TV contracts. Eventually, all the eyeballs would be on a Jackson State, a Morehouse, a Howard, a Southern, because all of a sudden they would say, man, this football game is boring. There ain't no talent out here. And next thing you know, all the TV networks and all the top ranked people would be watching the college football players. All the scouts would be watching their games. And by default, the black colleges, in my dream, would get all the TV money. They would all of a sudden start cutting deals with those schools because they got the best players. And everybody's watching that. And so those schools would come up on all that TV money because now nobody is watching Notre Dame. They ain't got nobody out there. Nobody wants to watch.
Agreed. I'm standing with you on that dream then, brother.
So if black people woke up tomorrow and did that, you could actually cripple college football in those white schools that's been getting all this money. Agreed. Next thing you know, the TV, the money that they get for the bowl games, because that's money, they would say, why the hell do we want to put Alabama, Florida on this national game when they ain't got nobody out there? This is terrible football. Nobody's watching. Wait a minute. But these schools over here, Florida, Rattles, and the Hampton, whatever. My God, they're playing football over here. God damn it. Because, okay, I'll give you this, brother. I'll give you this. NFL football didn't become exciting until they started recruiting brothers from the black schools. What was the first school, I believe? Grambling State. Some of the best players that played in the NFL in the 70s and 60s came out of historical black colleges. Right? So some of the best players, Jerry Rice came from Mississippi State. Sterling Sharp, he played at a black school. So they got the talent. If they all just went there, the NFL is going to be like, man, we got to go over there to get the talent because we ain't got it over here. But
I agree. I definitely agree. Just to backtrack just a little bit and answer your previous question. I don't have any children, but if I did, I would encourage them to go into IT or something else.
Yeah, I mean, education is more important.
Football, yes. I definitely agree with Barry's perspective that I do believe they should play for someone who looks like them. But I mean, I would encourage them to look to open up their options to the IT field, logistics and medical, but definitely IT.
Okay, let me say peace to Pro Woman. Give her a clap. I like this statement right here by 360. Forget a black coach. How about a black lead? How about a black? I like it. Hey, you know, I was listening to a sports program the other day, and they said when Jackie Robinson broke into the major leagues, they said what should have happened. And I thought about it. I said, that would have been amazing. Is that they should have integrated the black teams into the MLB and you still would have had black ownership. So the owners of those Negro League teams would have still had ownership and you simply took the best teams. I guess that's how they would do it. And they should have put them into the lead. Now you would have had generational wealth and ownership, hopefully, if the theory goes right, with Major League Baseball teams being owned by black people because you put some of these teams in, like you put some of the best teams in the lead because they could compete with them. And I thought that was a very interesting point if they would have did that. But let me ask you, how many of you would if all the professional black athletes were to create their own lead, would you go watch it? You would, I would, but how many people would watch it? You're right. A lot of people saying that maybe they should create their own league. Maybe the NBA players should create their own league. But then you got to say, well, where are they going to play? Where the venues going? Where are they going to play? Who's going to manage what? You know. But anything can be done. Anything can be done. But I really appreciate y'all coming up here today and joining me. I want to see how this is going to play itself out because Loretta Lynch is actually siding with the NFL to prove that Brian Flores his suit has no merit. And I want people to remember this because I said this today. This lawsuit is not just about Brian Flores. I don't even know if he's the best person for it, because there's so many other black men who have been mistreated in this system. But for that reason, I want his lawsuit to go through, because the NFL has been trying to hide behind their bullshit for a long time. And that's why I laugh when they put on the sidelines, end racism. Well, if you want to end racism, you have to first look at yourself, NFL, and clean it up in yourself internally. And they haven't done that. So you cannot say you're about diversity if none of your entities within the NFL do not represent diversity. And diversity is a trick bag. That's a farce word. Because it never defines, it never gets to the fact that we're talking about black folks. We're not talking about diversity. Diversity encompasses all these other folks. We're talking about black folks.
Yeah, diversity speaks to all the other protected classes, and that is very important. That is said. Well, good point.
Because when you do that, you drag net and everybody else. But the reality is, this is an issue centering around black men, because we make up the large amount of the players in the league. Now, one of the things that bothers me, and I want to get your opinions on this, as they played this Super Bowl, you don't hear too many of the players coming out and saying, it would have been incredible if both the players on the Bengals and the Rams would have said, we're not playing this Super Bowl. Until the NFL make this right. Now you talking. What if they would have did that? See, but nobody did that.
Yeah, those things are, change only happens when you're outside of your comfort zone, and comfort is getting that huge paycheck. Comfort is getting the esteem and what's the word I'm looking for? The praise of being a professional football player. And change only happens outside of that comfort zone. So who's willing to be uncomfortable in order to facilitate change? That's a bigger question.
Right. Let me see. Well, folks, I think I'm going to get ready to put a crescendo on this. If you have anything else you want to add or bring up, you're more than welcome. But I think I'll put a crescendo on this and call it an evening. I'm going to go check out and see what Honors is talking about. Where's the H-back, Omar?
Yeah. I could use a good laugh.
Where is the H-back? You notice he ain't been talking about that HVAC.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the longest scam. I am so glad I never donated money.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Before I even started doing YouTube, I did donate to Umar Johnson, because in the beginning, I thought the brother was dynamic. He had the gift for gab. I thought that he was on the right track. And then year in and year in kept going by, and I said, okay, no school. Umar, we gonna open up Umar, we getting to school, right? We getting to school soon. No school this year. No school that year. Let me tell you something. In 2000, this gonna make y'all really, man, you got to put age on it to put it into perspective, ladies and gentlemen. Umar's been collecting money since 2009. I was 39 years old in 2009. 39. It's the year 2022. No school is open. Guess how old I am? I'm 52 years old. That's all you need to know.
Shoot, 2009. I was like a year out of college.
So why is it that I was 39 when he was collecting money? I'm a 52-year-old man now.
You sure?
My hair has gotten grayer. When he first talked about this, I didn't have any gray hair. Now I have gray hair, and we're talking about HVAC, and we ain't even seen no HVAC.
A customized HVAC. Yeah, customized.
Oh my God!
That
Trap Vision, what's going on?
In Zamunda.
Right.
One more thing I'd like to say, though, it would have been nice to if they would have protested for the Super Bowl to not even play.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, I understand why the NFL players don't do that. Let's be honest. These guys make a lot of money, but then they spend a lot of money. They got money spreading all over the place. And the truth of the matter is they need those checks. So they know if they protest, they're not going to get the check. They're not going to get the NFL bonus check that they get for playing in the Super Bowl. And as much as we think that these guys in the NFL make a lot of money, yeah, they do. Some of them do. But you got to think about how they spend their money, because almost every NFL player that retires, a percentage of them, they go broke. If you ever go on one of these if you ever go online and they have those little clips where they say, look at how many NFL or how many professional athletes have gone broke. And you go through the list and you be like, my God, that guy signed a big contract. So a lot of these guys, they making money, but they got their money all messed up. And then they say, I can't afford to take a protest and take a hit economically because I need that check, boss.
Yeah. They're buying a multi-million-dollar home that you have to also maintain it and then make the upgrades and everything. So,
well, a lot of these athletes are paying for everybody in their family, their mama, their daddy, their uncle, their cousin, and then they're trying to bring their neighborhood with them, right? LeBron James, by the way, he did it right. Do you know that most of the cats that run with LeBron James, he made them go to school and get certain certifications and certain things. So he made them get the education, and he made them give a commitment before he decided to put them in charge of something. So LeBron James is one of the few athletes who's got a machine going where he's making his people be accountable with the skills necessary. But see, we make these mistakes. When you look at MC Hammer, if you're like this, if your uncle is your barber, if your uncle has been a barber all his life and you hit it big with money and entertainment, you can't make your uncle your business accountant when he's your barber. Make him the barber and let him stay as the barber. Right. That's what MC Hammer did wrong. He had his uncles and family members in charge of stuff that they weren't even qualified for. You a barber, man. You just going to be my barber. I'm going to pay you well, but you're going to be the barber.
Talent management. Yeah, some people don't know how to handle personnel. Personnel management.
Right.
Yes. Indeed.
Anyway, I put another link in the chat room, but I don't think anybody else is coming up. Let me say peace to this person for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
And we got, wait a minute, we got my man George Makem in the house, George Makem Experience. And I got that link that you sent me, brother. I like that new promo with the Urban Nerds Worldwide organization. He has that organization in Philadelphia. He's doing great things out there. So I really respect George Makem. But if nobody else comes up on the panel, I think I'll probably end the stream because I want to watch what Honors is talking about. I enjoy those streams thoroughly.
Oh, we were cutting up. I fell asleep last night. She just,
ooh, man.
Oh my
and the
goodness.
One that he did about crypto roots, how he got ripped off by Polite. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
You got black folks on these social medias that's on here trying to get over on black folks, grift black folks.
Yeah, that's an uncomfortable thought, but that's the truth that we live in. Sad.
It's a shame, doxing and everything. I just be looking like, wow, what is going on? Jeez.
Like people saying that they're gonna build something, they don't build it. Like you know, and they collecting this money, and you know what's bad about this? Let's say you have black women and black men that are legitimate. And they actually are going to see through a project to fruition of reality.
Right.
And they might say, folks, if y'all donate, this is what I'm building. This is how it's going to benefit you and your family or your children. You may not want to donate to a person less legitimate now because you're going to remember that Umar or somebody else tried to scam you. Right. So now a legitimate person comes to you and says, I got a plan, and he shows you the blueprint and everything. And you say, nah, we already been down this road before. No, we're not going to submit any type of funding or support to you. This is what people like Umar and people like him have done. They make it hard for men and women who are legitimate.
I definitely agree. Yeah, absolutely. And the sad part is about the, the hypocrisy in his situation. You're trying to tell people about, I'm going to, save black boys and do all these things. And I'm thinking to myself, but you're not even involved in your own children's life. So I'm like, you need to go sit down somewhere. As the other people say, sit down.
Right.
And just
right. Now, for example, George Makem has a organization that he's trying to build and spread. Because of people like that, it makes it tougher for someone like George, who has a legitimate organization where he actually shows you what he's doing with the youth.
Right.
And he's not sitting up here telling you, we building a building. Come on, pay. He's basically saying donate for us to continue taking these kids out on trips so that we can continue teaching them STEM, so that we can get them involved in computers and let them see other parts of the world. That's what he's doing. Somebody like him, he needs 750,000.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. He needs 3 or 4 million because he's a family
But if
man.
George, if George asked for that money because of Umar, unfortunately, black folks on these social media is going to say, nah, we don't trust George either.
Yep.
But George is not a hustler. He not hustling nobody. And he ain't really been trying to sell you anything. Matter of fact, when he does sell you something, you get something. He says if you donate $5 or $6, buy a shirt, buy an Urban Nerd shirt, you're getting a product. It's a shirt, it's a t-shirt, it's a hoodie. You're promoting his organization. He's not ripping you off. And check this out. Umar lied and told everybody that you get a tax write-off, and he hasn't even reported his earnings to the IRS. You're not going to get a tax write-off. But guess what? He has a legitimate exemption, non-profit exemption, folks. What's going on, Aaron Collins? Say your words, brother, before I get out of here today.
I initially wasn't gonna come on, but hold on. See, he still had not come up with that damn HVAC yet.
Oh no, ain't nobody seen HVAC.
Aaron, you need to go over and start listening to Brother Honors. He breaks it all the way down for you. He has no HVAC. He has come up with no HVAC. He gives you excuses. He says he's building something, but all you see is him outside the building. He goes into he goes into the gym, the one gym that they painted. And that's not building a school by painting. That's ancillary, man. You don't see anybody. This is the thing I never see. You never see a construction truck. You never see no hard hats. You don't see no walls coming down, no plastic coming up. You don't see any hardcore construction going on. No drilling, no hammering. You don't see a crew of men building. But you will see ladies painting.
Can you spell HVAC?
I'm just saying. Y'all, people may say I'm hating right now, but I've done videos that you don't see production in an area.
You're not hating that poor man. You're not hating at all.
He picked the worst name. He picked the worst place to buy property in a Browning community where they have environmental problems. See, nobody wants to talk about that too. Environmental problems.
You can't
Somebody sent me an email variant perspective saying that that lived down there, saying that the reason why they shut that school down in the first place, one of them amongst others, is that there was contaminants they found in the water source.
What the hell?
I believe it. I'm in Delaware. I believe it 1,000%.
So
set up the basic how y'all doing up there.
Oh man. Hey everybody in the chat room, thank you for joining us today. I know it's a little off topic, but I guess I've completed the topic for today. We're just talking, shooting the breeze up here. Thank everybody for being here. Yeah. Hey, but Aaron, before I get out of here, I want to get your thoughts about Loretta Lynch joining the NFL in defense of Brian Flores' racism suit or racial discrimination suit.
Well, basically, I said that earlier that she's pretty much being a pick-me right now for the white elite. And basically, like, I believe Back to the Basics said it. She said it perfectly earlier that she's gonna be do her thing, and then once she's run out of her usefulness, they're gonna discard her just as easily as they would do any other coon. I hate to use that word, but that's basically what she's doing. She's mammying, she's cooning. She's basically being a lapdog for the white supremacist regime known as the NFL. And I'm not hating on the NFL. I watch the football games sometimes. But we got to also put in perspective what's really going on here. So, so basically, I hope she realizes that she thinks she's doing a good service, but it's being used as a puppet.
Right. I think George Makem has dropped a link to his channel where he has the Urban Nerds channel. So check that out. I dropped a bunch of links in there. Probably didn't have to drop that many links, but that's for the info media. That will be a channel that won't be about social issues or polarizing issues like this. That will be a content creation channel where I'll give you tips about creating a YouTube channel, the tips, understanding your YouTube studio, understanding your analytics, how to work it in your favor. So it will be a tips and strategy channel. I think you're going to get a lot out of it. Those of you who are thinking about building a YouTube channel or you have an existing YouTube channel, I will give you some information. I know there's other people that are well known who give this information, but I'm going to talk about things that they don't talk about. I'm going to give you the nitty and the gritty. And I hope that folks that are interested in joining the channel, specifically if you are a content creator or a potential content creator, definitely join that channel. And if you're not, I think you might get a kick out of some of the things about YouTube that you may not know about that goes on behind the scenes that I want to reveal. That channel will build a different audience because of the nature of the channel. So go ahead and subscribe to Info Media. I will also be doing vlogs where I'll go out live with my cameras. I might be at a festival or something going on where I may be talking about social media while I'm out and about. So that's going to be more of a different channel. It's not going to be about politics or race or any of these sort of things like that. That content will be done over here on this channel, and that will be more of an evergreen type content channel, searchable content over there that I think you folks will enjoy that. And if you're building a channel, I will give you some things that will help you, that will surprise you on how the system, how it works. So definitely subscribe to the Info Media channel. That's my new channel. The new shorts, I think I'm going to put actual shorts on there, and every blue moon, I'll load something up over there. I'm still figuring out how exactly I want to deal with the new shorts channel, but I'm going to be spending more time on this channel and the Info Media channel, and I'll still be dropping podcasts on the other channel, the podcast channel. Every now and then I'll be dropping you a nugget on that channel as well. So I want everybody to check that out if you like, and I appreciate your support, the Info Media channel. And so anyway, let me let everybody give their last thoughts before we get out of here. Let's start with, I'm gonna go ladies last, let her take us home, but we'll go with Aaron Collins. Go ahead and give us your last thoughts, brother.
Yeah, I was gonna say, appreciate this. You as always, information man. You come with the facts and with the info, as your name states, info man. You do the research, and I just wanted to say, I don't know what is it gonna take for us to realize that all we got is us. When are we gonna stop all this bias, gender war bull crap that's going on right now? All it is just another way to put us to sleep and to keep us distracted. And like someone said earlier, all it is just a train wreck. We need to stop. We need to stop as a people being attracted to the train wrecks and the car wrecks, and bring it to the info.
Right. Well, I think that I don't know. Maybe we need to go back into segregation. I don't know, man. I know it sounds crazy what I'm saying. I don't know, man. I just know that we had black businesses and we had all these things before I was born. Black folks wasn't getting treated well, of course, but looks like we had more black businesses back then.
Good point. We didn't have no
because
choice.
we had no
Exactly.
choice because we were told by the larger society, we don't want you over here. Now, I'm not saying I want us to be treated like that again, but I'm just saying maybe we should be segregated. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I do know this. There's always going to be, to get serious here, there's always going to be a small percentage of us that are going to be on code with each other. And then there's always going to be a few of us that's going to be off code, and that's going to be looking to get praise from the other groups, right? So we're always going to have our traders, and we're always going to have black folks that's on code. That's just the facts. We're going to have black men who promote divesting. We're going to have black women that promote divesting. This is the facts, right? So work with those that you can work with, and those that you can't work with, get away from them. I think that we should be discriminating for the best of us. So that means black people that's about it. Those that's not, you should leave them alone because they're on the wrong course anyway. I'm going to stop there and let Variant Perspective give us his perspective as we get on out of here.
Let me jump on. Okay. Hey, we'll definitely always enjoy your show. Information, man. You bring the facts all the time. And
Thank you.
Really like the way that you push the information out. So it's not just talking at you, it's finding that you can get something from it all the time. The biggest thing that I would just put out, whenever you have a group or a public setting, you always should put a challenge out to somebody. So here's the challenge that I'll give everybody that's listening to your sound show. Pull back the covers. Pull back the covers. Everything at face value may not be the best thing for you. And just because it's at face value, it doesn't mean that it's right or it's wrong. Pull back the covers on some things. You'd be amazed what you find when you actually do some due diligence into things. You would be amazed. Just you doing your research on the NFL showed all these little things that people are 100% not aware of, but everybody can tell you what the score of the Super Bowl was, but nobody can tell you how many offensive or defensive coordinators are in the league. So pull back the covers on some things, take the time, do the due diligence. And lastly, don't always see accountability as accusation. Only an immature person sees that. And just like you kind of touched on, you said, well, it may be like I'm hating. You're not hating. Holding someone accountable is not a bad thing because iron truly sharpens iron. It won't work if you strike somebody with an iron sword with a piece of wood. It won't work. So keep the iron sharp by being held accountable. Peace and respect, sir.
Oh, I appreciate that. Everything you said was on point. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to check out that story that you put on there, sister. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to pull it up. It's the, let me see, black activist Moses should not be in prison for trying. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look that story up. I thank you for putting that in the chat room. Looking up to Black Lives Matter activist Moses for registering to vote makes her. Oh, yeah. There is that the one about the black woman who's in jail because they're saying that she tried to vote more than once or something? Registered to vote makes her a prisoner. A political. I'm going to look into this. I've heard a little bit about this. I'm going to look into this. Yeah, you got a black woman that's in jail, y'all. They trying to because she was registering to vote and they're saying they're trying to charge her with something. Oh yeah. Trying to say, oh, she's trying to cheat the system. Well, I'm going to check this out. This is this is made news. This was during 2018 conversation, and I'm going to look into this. I appreciate you putting that in there. Back to the basics. Take us on home.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for permitting me to speak on your platform. Most of what I said, I did put in the chat. I know that we need to heal as a people. We need each other because pretty much we're all that we got. And what I will say is I just stand by my statements that sisters, we can't allow ourselves to fall for the okie doke and be a tool for white supremacy. I'm 100% for strong black families. As far as I understand, we're just too divided. There's too many different sectors. We got the divestment. We got the black man saved ourselves. We got men go their own way. We got manosphere. We even now have a woman sphere and a pink pill. And I'm like, listen, I'm tired of all these pills. We need to just come together and work together and just and build. And you mentioned the word segregation. It wouldn't bother me if we separated, but here's the thing: just cut the damn check before we
Right.
separate. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
ain't nobody trying to separate and be hurting out there. That's all I'm saying.
let's keep this in mind. The word when you say let's unify, let's come together. Well, the word unity, if you break it down, it really means to come together with people of like minds. So the reality is you don't want to unify with people of unlike minds.
That's
so
true.
therefore, the word come together. No, you want to be more specific and say, let's come together with people of like minds, because not everybody that you want to come together with is going to be on the same page with you. So we want to come together with people who have like minds to be able to get something done. Let me read this more appropriately. Pamela Moses was sentenced to 6 years in prison for illegally registering to vote, I believe, in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look into this. I know I heard something about it, but now I'm going to look into this. This is a damn shame.
Tennessee, man.
Memphis, Tennessee. So why is this woman getting 6 years? She was sentenced to 6 years in prison early this week after being convicted a year ago on charges of illegal registering to vote. Moses, 44 years old, was convicted November 2021 of illegal registration to vote. In 2019, was sentenced to 6 years. I read that. She maintains that she was unaware that she was ineligible to vote. About a dozen community members gathered at a Friday afternoon press conference at 201 Popular Protest Moses sentencing attendant gathering. Now we've got now check this out.
Right. She got 6
We
years.
got Kim. Now you done made me angry. You should have never did this to me. Whoever put this in the chat room. I just did a show on Friday. I wish I would have been more aware of this. I wish I would have been. I would have gathered the information. Kim Potter is getting 2 years.
Thank you.
16 months, ladies and gentlemen.
For killing somebody.
16 months and 8 months at home on supervised for killing a young black male. This black woman is getting 6 years in prison for allegedly falsely registering to vote. Damn it, what the hell is going on here?
A bunch of buffoonery.
Oh no.
Shenanigans. Exactly. But my mind went there too. Like 6 years for messing up at voting, and then you got someone who is no longer here. A young black man was killed by somebody who had over 20 years experience now.
Can anybody make this make sense in the chat room? How does Kim Potter? Well, I already know I answered that. She got the complexion for the protection. How is it that Kim Potter kills a black man while she was on duty? She claimed to go for a taser, but it was already been said that she had that hand on that gun. I play the audio for you. She gets 16 months, 8 months will be done at home. She ain't gonna do a full 2 years. And this black woman did not kill anybody. She did not break in somebody's house. She didn't do grand theft arsenal. She didn't rob a bank. She allegedly registered illegally, and she gets 6 years. You gotta be, God damn it, I wish I had this information when I went live on Friday.
It's
it would have knocked the door off.
For her,
my God.
For her as a police officer to be playing around with her gun, you know what profession that I'm in, and we're taught you treat a gun as if it is loaded at all times. The first thing we do when we draw our weapon, we clear the weapon, make sure there's nothing jammed or anything. Then we do a functions check. And then after that, we keep it at the low ready. We don't get any ammo until we go up to the firing line.
Right.
And with the low ready, guess what? The weapon's on safe. The weapon is on safe. Our finger is not in the trigger well. This is baloney. If this is the trash that is coming that came out of the police academy almost 30 years ago, what's coming out of there right now?
Right. Trap
And
Vision
she had 26 years.
Trap Vision was up here on Friday, and he's military too, and he said
Disgusting.
exactly what you said about how you properly check your gun and handle
Yes.
it. But the bottom
I've done
line
gun
is
laws
you
too,
have a
and
black woman getting 6 years. Go ahead,
As a sec-
Aaron. I'm blown away.
I've done armed security before, and I concur with what Back to the Basics was saying. You don't play with your gun. And matter of fact, you don't even have your finger in the trigger guard. One thing you learn is that anything that you don't intend to shoot, you don't point the gun at. The guns are not to be played with. And I've seen people have mistakes. Unfortunately, no one lost their life, but I've seen people actually shoot holes in something and stuff like that because they want to have their finger already on the trigger. Matter of fact, you don't even leave a round in the chamber. You don't even keep one in the chamber like that. Right. And that's one thing that people like to do. Like you have a bunch of kids and yahoos on the security force.
Right.
And I got a gun, so I get to play around. I got a gun,
Mm-hmm. Let me add this to the table from DOD. He said, actually, she will be doing 14 months. They gave her 58 days for time already served. So Kim Potter killed a young man who has a son that will never know his actual biological father. She will do 14 months in a prison. It'll be a country club prison. I did a video on that showing you where she's going to be doing her time in a country club environment. She will do 8 of those last months at home, while a black woman is serving 6 years prison sentence for allegedly illegally registering to vote. Either because maybe she has a record of, does she have a felony or something? Maybe she had a criminal record from the past. I mean, when you have a criminal record, you're not supposed to be able to vote. But the thing is, she didn't kill nobody and they put her for 6 years. This woman actually killed somebody. That's all I need to hear. That is crazy.
They're just the same community some of these folks want to divest to, though. That's the community they want to divest to.
Right.
A community that don't even treat them with the same type of justice. Well, it's really no justice. It's just us.
Right.
So,
man, y'all rocked me. Y'all rocked me with that one, boy. Man, when I looked at it, something told me, man, look a little deeper into it on my other computer here, and that really rocked me to my foundation compared to this Kim Potter situation. This is crazy. I'm gonna look more into this. I'm probably gonna have to talk about this. This is just crazy. So I'm gonna get on out of here. I'm gonna have to end the stream. I appreciate everybody coming up and joining me. Variant Perspective, Back to the Basics, Real Aaron Collins. Come on back for some other panels like this. I'll be doing more streams. There's a chance that I have the time, so there's a chance that I may go live like I did last Monday, earlier in the day around people's lunch breaks or whatever they're doing. I might do something tomorrow. I'll just have to see how I'm feeling. Appreciate everybody. I'll be back again with more maybe tomorrow going into next weekend. Once again, check out the Info Media channel. I think you're going to like what I'm doing over there. It's going to be a different style. Won't be talking about these type of issues, but I think you'll get a kick out of it. I'm going to be talking about everything I'll be talking about podcasting. How do you get involved in podcasting and how you can leverage what you do on YouTube or social media with a podcast to go along with it. I think everybody should consider doing such these sort of things, and you can monetize your podcast as well. So thank you all again. I'm getting ready to get out of here. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Bless you.
All right. Bless you too. So everybody, thank you. We had a little bit of a side conversation there when we were talking a little about the Umar Johnson situation, which is crazy. Once again, I'm blown away that a black woman in Memphis is doing 6 years sentence for, they're saying, illegally registering to vote, while Kim Potter is only going to do 14 months, 8 months at home for killing a young man. Even though she was a cop, she still killed someone. This is crazy. It's nonsense. I'm tired of it. but I really appreciate all of you coming over. So we're going to get out of here. I'll see everybody around the YouTube streets. Thank you for your participation in the chat room. Everybody, Raw Allbanks, Kendra, thank you for coming over. Brother Keith, Earl Owens, Code 1, Core 1, Lady 75, TW, Midnight Green, Pro Woman, thank you for coming over. Golden Gold, DOD, saying great stream. Thank you, my brother. We got Descendant, who gave me a super chat, which I appreciated. We got the Major Change Group. Check out that sister's channel. Great things she's got going on over there. And I think it's just that time. So peace, everybody. Peace to you.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please be
Peace.
sure to subscribe to his channel.
All mine if you don't listen that much. But some of y'all don't listen at all. The same shit they be pushing your buttons. Got a grown man.
NFL's playing chess, not checkers.
If you don't listen that much. Yo, I smile what you say for the crowd. But some of y'all don't listen at all. Some of y'all don't answer that call. Realize the movie that I was watching. It's the end of the world. Illuminati is coming. Gather the boys and girls and watches it all unfurls. They clutching it all they pearls and no one asking for guidance. Stimulus check, won't you cash at that? I got niggas and they said that respect they black. Politicians and they said don't know how to act. That's why we sitting on the wrong track. Back to the long track. And it's okay to be rich. My mama always told me I was destined for greatness. But my mama also, she told me take care of
Tell the truth.
and everybody around the world that can't fight for it. So it's a Kuna Matata, beast on the water. Pray to provider, please don't divide us. Keep that and try to face your intruder to be someone brighter. Yeah, all of mine if you don't listen that much. But some of y'all don't listen at all. The same shit they be pushing your buttons. Got a grown man having withdrawals. I don't mind if you don't listen that much. Yo, I just mind what you say for the crowd. But some of y'all don't listen at all. Some of y'all don't answer that call.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Thank you for your support as always. I'll see y'all around the YouTube streets. Peace, love. Definitely share the video. And thank you all for your support. Thank you.
Tell the truth.